You become what you tolerate. Tony Robbins. There are moments in life when we pause and realize that our current situation is not what we dreamed of. We are working hard, but not getting ahead. We are surrounded by people who drain our energy. We are accepting behaviors, circumstances, and standards that deep down we know are below our potential. Tony Robbins says you become what you tolerate. And those 6 words are enough to trigger a deep self-assessment. Because in reality, every part of our life reflects what we have been willing to settle for. The results we have, the people we attract, the income we generate, the health we experience. Everything is shaped by the standards we have accepted as normal. This article is about waking up to that truth, about realizing how our tolerance builds our identity, and most importantly, about how to change that. Starting now, think about your daily life. How many things do you accept even though you know they are not okay? Maybe it is the job you dislike but stay in out of fear. Maybe it is the relationship that no longer serves you but you are afraid to leave. Maybe it is the debt you ignore, or the health habits you keep postponing. Maybe it is the endless scrolling at night that steals your sleep and energy. All of those things are not just habits, they are tolerated patterns. And every time you allow them to stay, you reinforce them as part of your identity. You silently say, "This is acceptable. This is who I am." And the longer you tolerate a situation, the harder it becomes to change it. Because you build stories around it, you justify it, you normalize it, and eventually you forget that a better reality was even possible. You become numb to the discomfort. You stop dreaming, you stop trying, and you start surviving. Not living, not growing, just existing within the limits you have allowed. This is how mediocrity wins. Not in a single decision, but in 1,000 micro-compromises made over time. The scary part is this happens silently, slowly, without alarms, until one day you look around and do not recognize the life you are living now. Here is the turning point. You do not need to accept that anymore. The same way you became what you tolerated, you can become what you demand, what you pursue, what you design, and the shift starts with one simple but powerful decision. Raise your standards. That is the foundation. Your standards shape your actions. Your actions shape your results. Your results shape your life. If you want a new life, you need new standards. That means deciding what is no longer acceptable and acting accordingly. It could mean cutting off toxic people. It could mean waking up earlier, saying no to unhealthy food, saying yes to opportunities, holding yourself to a higher level of accountability. It is about shifting from tolerance to intention, from passive acceptance to active creation. Tony Robbins teaches that change happens. In an instant, it happens the moment you say, "Enough is enough," and mean it. The pain of staying the same must outweigh the pain of changing, and when that happens, you move, you act, you grow. The challenge is that this decision is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet, internal, is not who I am. And from that whisper, you begin to rebuild. You start to set new boundaries. You start to aim higher. You start to train your brain and your habits to align with your new identity. You change your environment. You change your input. You change your focus. And slowly but surely, you begin to transform. Not just your results, but your entire sense of self. Because identity is not fixed, it is built. And if you can tolerate growth, discomfort, and discipline long enough, you will become someone completely new. Someone you are proud of. Someone who inspires others. Someone who lives on purpose. It all begins by no longer tolerating less than what you deserve. The life you want is not as far as you think. It is not locked behind luck or talent or timing. It is behind a line you have drawn in your own mind. A line between what you have been tolerating and what you will no longer accept. And when you cross that line, everything changes. You will face resistance from yourself, from others. But that resistance is not a wall. It is a test. A test to see if you really meant it when you said enough. And if you pass that test with daily action, you will rise, you will grow, you will create a life that reflects your highest standards, a life that feels true. Because you will no longer be defined by what you tolerated. You will be defined by what you chose, what you fought for, what you became, and that is where real power begins. This message woke something up inside you, then do not let it fade. Take one action today that reflects a higher standard. Unfollow a negative influence. Cancel a toxic commitment. Say yes to your next level, because you do not need permission to level up. You need decision. And if you are ready, then join the movement. Like this video, subscribe for more content that feeds your growth. Leave a comment and share this with someone who needs to hear it. The world needs more people who refuse to settle. Be one of them. Choose growth. Choose truth. Choose power.